You're 0-0 against USA and you bring Jordan Henderson on. And that's not a knock on Jordan Henderson, who's been a fantastic ambassador for our game. But you've got Foden.
Why? Tell me why. Because there's one criticism that's come Gareth Southgate's way. Sometimes it's the substitutions, game management, but also his pragmatism.
He was scared. Yeah, he was scared he was going to lose the game.
Yeah, 100%.
He was sitting there scared he was going to lose the game rather than having a positive mindset and thinking, how do we win this football match? Now, a draw suits them in the group, but the performance doesn't suit us. The momentum of the country, you heard the fans there travelling in their numbers, booing them off the field because they weren't happy with what they saw. But the result-wise, it takes them through. You know, they're going to get a draw, a minimum, against Wales, you would think. But, you know, I'd like to judge. We've seen every team now. We like to judge on if they can win the tournament. That's what they're there for. I mean, we're talking about a team finishing the semi-final, in the final of the Euros, and can they go all the way? On that performance there tonight, with the changes what the manager made as well, I mean, he was a poor performance from Jude Bellingham tonight. You can play bad, that's fine, but your approach has to be on the front foot, in my opinion. And the approach wasn't on the front foot, and we got dominated by a team of American players who, I don't want to be too disrespectful to them, but I bet none of them would have been selected in an England squad. Even Tyler Adams and Robinson, who we saw were outstanding tonight, Pulisic, they wouldn't be selected in an England squad. So Gareth's got to look at it in the cold light of day, when he dusts himself down with no pressure, look at it and think, it's not a great result that, it wasn't a fantastic performance. And he has to be honest. He has to be honest with himself and you think, how are we going to get better moving forward? The only way you get better moving forward is to put your best players and your offensive players onto the pitch and play on the front foot. Take the go off the bridle, take the shackles off of this team and let them play on the front foot and express themselves.
John, I want to bring you into this conversation here, because one thing which Gareth Southgate can say, no matter how pragmatic he is, no matter what the fans or pundits are saying about his selection, he is also the manager that's taken England to the semi-final of the World Cup. He's also taken them to the final of the Euro. He was a penalty shootout away from lifting England's first major trophy since 1966. And you could say, OK, maybe the opposition wasn't the best, but he still did it. Every other team has failed since '66. Yeah. He went that far.
That's already history, the last tournament. It's important now because most of the players, some of them, he's still selecting them. He's still picking them. If you have those players, then create a formation, create the possibility for them to shine. And okay, maybe they're losing the ball sometimes, but then you have to protect your goal together. So if Phil Foden is playing or Jack is playing and they're taking some risk, you know, but they can win the game for you, they can lose the ball. But if they're losing the ball, then the other players, they have to be aware. They can win the games for us, but if they lose it, okay, we have to run a little bit harder for them, because if it's successful, then we're going to win the game easily.
In the last two tournaments, fantastic achievement to do what we did, but that can be very misleading, because in the World Cup 4 years ago, we only played two teams of any quality. It was Belgium in the group stage, we lost. Croatia, who had a prime Modric, we lost. Then we come to the Euros, we beat a poor German team, and we played Italy. And Italy, after the first 10, 15 minutes, got a real foothold on the game and dominated the game. So we haven't beaten a team where we're the underdogs in.
But before that, you were losing against Iceland.
Yeah, but also, I was in a team in 2002. We lost to Brazil, who had a front three of Ronaldinho, Rivaldo and Ronaldo. And when we lost, we were classed as failures. It's just the way you look at it.
Yeah.
You're totally right, but maybe the big nations, you know, the other teams, they find solutions to play against the big teams. So you have to give them credits as well. It's not only that, you know, some teams are playing in a compact organization. If you see the strategy now from USA, you have to give them the credit, instead 100%. Of talking only about, in this case, England.